The important questions in this book are, obviously, how and why did Vivek Oji die? But a secondary question is, will I pronounce a single name correctly? Probably not. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kat, and today I would like to talk about the Death of Vivek Oji by Akwaeke Emezi. Like I said, not a single name will be pronounced correctly yet again. I mean, I can barely pronounce English correctly, so I don't know what I expected from this one. The book pretty much starts off with Vivek's death and then uses several perspectives and flashbacks to solve the mystery. One POV is Osita, Vivek's cousin. The other is Vivek after death. And then there are several other characters involved, like Kavita, Vivek's mom, Chika, Vivek's father, and then friends of Vivek's and Osita's as well. To put it in one sentence, I really like this book. I had trouble putting it down because I just needed to know what exactly had happened, how it happened, and what the other characters were up to. There will be plenty of spoilers from here on out, so if you intend to read the book, you might want to stop here. I'll start off with saying that Vivek comes out as non-binary and considers themselves both male and female, which you only find out at the end of the book essentially. But it is obviously very closely tied to one of the biggest cons for this book. If you can't handle violence, a lot of sex, religious fanatism, then this is probably not the book for you. If you're looking for a comfortable, cozy read, then this is probably not it. As for violence, apart from Vivek's death itself, there's also the backdrop of elections happening and riots in relation to it going down. Apparently, lynchings seem to be a thing as well. Officially, it's because these people were thieves, but it's quite clear from within the story that it's just, oh, these people are different, so likely members of the LGBT community, and it's because they were murdered, and it's treated as an almost normal occurrence in the book, and it's just disturbing. Under no circumstances should that ever be considered commonplace or the reasonable action to take. Never. Second, sex. There's a lot of it between the first generation, like the parents of Vivek, Osita, and all their friends. There's a lot of adultery going on, like people just sleeping around left and right. It's just like, wow, okay. And you dare judge the next generation for anything? Interesting. But also in the, younger generation, so Vivek, Osita, and all of their friends, there's plenty of that going around as well. And in one part it particularly confused me because in one of the flashbacks they're around 17, 18, something like that, and Osita gets himself a girlfriend, and Vivek asks whether they can watch those two have sex sometime, and you just sit there with your book like, excuse me? But then Osita's take on this is like, yeah, well, that's fairly commonplace. He knows from friends that when somebody takes a girl with him, then they rent a hotel room and several of them sit outside to watch, and you're just like, what the fuck did I just read? Yeah, again, nothing that should be commonplace. The bit where I had to put the book down because it made me so angry that I needed a few minutes to fume away from the book was Vivek's aunt Mary. When it becomes apparent that Vivek is not like the others, although at this point all they did was grow their hair out and lose weight. The losing weight part sounded a bit on the unhealthy side, to be honest, but then again that doesn't justify whatever came after. So Mary decides we need to interfere here and talks Kavita, Vivek's mom, into allowing her to take them to church because her church can help. It's all gonna be fine. Kavita is like, okay, we don't believe in that kind of faith, but why not? My child is clearly unhappy and not well, so go try. And Mary's congregation's response is to try an exorcism and beat Vivek. They escape, and when they get home, they're obviously pissed with Kavita as well. It's like, what the fuck were you thinking sending me there and whatnot? And the trust is completely gone. From Vivek's side, at least. To her credit, Kavita completely freaks out when they come back like that and cuts all ties with Mary. They have a proper shouting match over the phone, and even at that point, Mary doesn't see that what she did might have possibly been wrong. No, they weren't finished with the exorcism. We need to bring Vivek back to the church. It's just like I said, it's not a comfy read, so it tackles a lot of issues. On a happier note, the prose. The world building is pretty great, I would say. It all feels very real and lively. The characters, even if you disagree with their actions, they are complex, confusing and confused, and just interesting to read. I don't want to reveal any more details of the story. Just know that it's a great read from a queer perspective in Africa, and it's really hard to put down. So as long as you know that all the sex and violence won't be an issue for you, then you should probably read this book. If any of those things are a real problem for you, then you might want to stay away from this. So overall, I think it deserves this cat. And I'm looking forward to more works from this author. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back next week with another video. Bye guys!